I always knew I wanted to do something in entertainment growing up. It was an important part of my life. Something games, film. It was a big impact on me as a child, and it's something I knew that's what I wanted to do for a career. So that's what I went into. I studied animation. That was the most interesting part to me at the time. It's something I wanted to get better at. It's something I always had an interest in. I have had some experience before working on film, and it was a great experience, but it wasn't animation. It's not what I wanted to do with my life. It's nothing I wanted to do with my career. My career wasn't going the right direction doing what I was doing then. So at the time when Imagination Vent came up to me and talked to me about this offer to be animating to help with their fighting game, I thought to myself, this is fantastic. I'm on board with what they're trying to sell. It's important to me. I like what they're trying to do. So when they offered me the job to help with the game, I said yes. And I've been working with them ever since. The thing I really like about making this esports title so far is that we're making a different kind of esports title. Like there are bigger esports games, your MOBAs, RTS, FPS games, which are all great games, and I enjoy playing a lot of those games personally on my own time. However, they weren't really something I enjoyed watching other people play in a competitive environment in this big setups that you see like a lot of those big esport games happen. It never really reached out to me, never got my interest. But when Imagination Vent came to me talking about this game, this fighting game, talking about the customization, the style of fighting game it is, I thought this is up my alley. This is something I would want to watch people play because I always believe fighting games are the best games to play and also watch other people play. You get excitement from both sides. So that's my biggest excitement about working on this esports game is that I'm developing something that I personally have an interest in, and I hope that when other people see this game, it'll get them into esports as well, get people who weren't personally into it before. Well, working at an Imagination Vent, you could see that it's a smaller studio than your one working on big games, which so far I've seen as a good thing because that way my voice carries more weight than you would see at a normal studio. There was times where I'm looking at my list of animations that I would have to do for it, and I saw something that either didn't make sense or wasn't 100% agreed upon on how this action should work. So I would shoot an email up the ladder saying my idea for it, saying, would this work? Do you think this would be a cool idea? Fit the character, everything like that. And then later that day, I would see a big group message saying, hey, somebody came up with a new idea for this. What do you guys think? Does this work? How do you think this would play out? And I would say that's probably one of my biggest accomplishments so far because I've never felt that and I really felt like I had that much control over how something would be presented. And I feel good for that. Like, I'm happy that my ideas are making an impact on how this game should work. One thing I like about this game versus what I'd seen in other pieces like this is the level of customization. You get a lot more organization about how your characters are presented, how the stage looks, how you appear in the game, with your presentation for the game, how it signs off. There's a lot more there than I think I've seen in other games like this, and I feel like when people play it, that they're going to appreciate all the little details that went into it, how it gets presented versus just having something more standard. When I'm not working on this game, I normally usually find myself playing other video games or watching movies, TVs, something to keep me up to date with everything that's going on that I'm missing while I'm working on this thing. But besides that, I actually try to go out into the world, mix it up a little. I recently started taking up boxing. I go hiking when the weather's appropriate. I try to go into the city, try to socialize with a bunch of people whenever I can, go to concerts, um, explore, maybe travel a little, just to make something new, do something new, get like some new experience on, clear my head. Because I've learned the hard way that even if you're working on something you're passionate about, you need to tear yourself away, give yourself something else to think about, because otherwise you will lose your mind and go crazy. And it's just something I'm trying to keep away from myself, trying to keep a sharp head. This is a weird question to answer because there really isn't any right way to answer it. You can get your influences, your inspiration from anywhere. For stuff like this, I usually find myself looking at myself in the mirror or recording myself because seeing if I can do these actions makes it easier to translate into a video game sense. Or like I'll see that and I'll discover something new about that action that I'm trying to do, and I'll learn something new, and I'll realize that actually makes the 3D animation better than maybe something already worked out. A lot of times when there's just nothing there, like I can't come up with a good first impression for how this animation should work out, I usually either go on the internet, go on the TV, play video games, keep my eyes open, see if anybody's doing anything or if there's any special actions that might work for what I'm trying to look for. And if something clicks, I'll rewind it or replay something, and I'll see it and I'll be like, oh, this can work if I modify it for better fitting this character. So it's just looking everywhere and seeing if something clicks. So there's no wrong way to get your influences.